Hi there. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I got some work to do. Today I got started on a few. If you recall, a week or so ago, I found these really cool dictionaries. Hold on, I'm going to get the rest. There we go. I found these really cool dictionaries. I guess I should have paused them. They are Dutch, French, and Dutch German. Dutch, French, hold on. Yes. So Dutch, French, French, Dutch, and Dutch, German, German, Dutch. So when I first saw this word, D-U-I-T-S, I thought that was the word referring to Dutch, but it's not. That is actually, I guess it's the Dutch version of the word Deutsch, which is German. Correct me if I'm wrong, as ever, but from the research I did, thank you, Google, that's what I understand it to be. So I've got started. There are a few in various taken apart stages here. This one I've been removing. They all have these cute little stickers here. I've been removing those to save. I love it when you can put something back in. This one's had the text block removed. There's just one left. This one has had the text block removed, and I have already I reinforced the hinges. The spine itself was fine. The hinges, when I do my window test, they looked a little threadbare. These aren't that old. These books are 1950s. So they're not that old, but they have been well used. And, I suspect so that the publisher could sell a lot of them, not necessarily used prime quality of stuff. I don't know. I find most dictionaries, they just want to get them out. Language is evolving constantly. And anyhow, that's what I have found. So I love this. I got so many things going through my head that I want to have fun with these covers. And I've already got plans for these spines as well. The spines are also really cool. So let's get started, and we'll finish one of these. And I will actually hopefully have time, and I can show you just how I use a really fine weave of cheesecloth and just PVA to just give a little bit of extra reinforcement to the spine. Let me preface this by saying, anyone who's new here, I am not a professional book restorer. I am not. I am an artist having fun with paper goods. And for me, a lot of it is either self-taught, trial and error, and also the wonderful everyone else on YouTube who shares what they know freely and with wild abandon, which is what I like to do as well. So I don't want anyone coming on here and going, oh, that's not how you do it. You know what? It probably isn't. And I'm not claiming that. So don't worry. But this will be strong. It will be usable as a wonderful journal. There we go. I love this knife. I know I mention it every time, but my son-in-law carved this down. This was actually, a cheese and hors d'oeuvre kind of knife. And he filed that down. Oh, I love it. So let's get this taken apart. So this is French and Dutch, Netherlands, France, Netherlands. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Forgive me if I'm not. So I'm just pulling back the full end paper because I don't intend to use it. I want something fun in there. So I'm just going to pull that right off. I don't intend to use it. These are going to be big books. I suspect probably about 11 signatures. Come on, off you come. Probably about 11 signatures. 2 of them are a full 2-inch wide spine, and 2 are like 1 7/8. So I think I will be able to probably fit in the same amounts in both. I have been trying to get the head and foot bands off one of the other text blocks, and it's not coming off without a fight, and I'm not going to fight with it. So I can put my own on if I need to. So, oh, my hair just got in my mouth. Blech. I'm just sort of holding them apart from each other, the text block, the cover. You can see in here, there's the mull. It's like a gauze. There's several different names for it. I call it mull. And I just go down and take little bites at it with a craft knife. And just take it apart. Especially, that's a pretty tight fit, this spine. There's not a lot of gap room there. So, and it's not falling apart, so it's not ripping apart either. So I'm just using the very tippy tip of the knife and do my best not to cut into the actual cover because it's in fairly nice condition. These are going to be fun. They're going to be, I'm hoping, just really creative all sorts books. There we go. Text block is free. Cover is free. Ta-da! And now I want to get this off of here. The rest of the mull. There we go. It was I'm recording on Monday, even though you're seeing this on Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. So up here where I live in Canada, it's today's a holiday. It's Family Day, where we just encourage people to spend the day, if they get the day off, to spend it with loved ones. And you know, I fully believe family can be those who you land in amongst, and they can also be those who you choose. Alrighty, so we'll just get all this off. I'm really looking forward to choosing end papers. I'm really craving some fun and quirky. And I want to put some metal on this. I'm not sure how I'm going to incorporate it, whether it's going to be, you know, some, maybe a door latch on the front, or I love when Jessica from Two Silver Oranges, she'll put an eyelet up here and hang a really cool junky, cool, charm, tassel-y. I love when she does that, and I may take a little inspiration from Jessica and do that. Don't know yet. I might do it on one and do something different on another. They're not going to be matchy-matchy, but they are going to be in the spirit of one another. At least that's what I anticipate. And as ever, big time blank pages so that new owners can just go to town and either write in it or fill it with whatever it is they feel they need to put in to make it their own. I got paper going downstairs in the tea bath, and I remembered to put gloves on this time. You know what? It wasn't that bad. I don't know why I've got to make things so hard for myself and not put the gloves on. It wasn't that bad. I could still lift up the papers and move them around. And yeah, there's talcum. I still had to wash my hands afterwards, but at least I didn't have all that, you know, the tannic acids and the baking soda and all that soaking into my fingers and pickling them. All right, so these end papers around the edge, at least on this one, I think they're okay. I don't think I have to try too hard to move them too far in from the edges. I think I've got plenty of room to lay down a new end paper on top. I'll just take the corners back a bit. There we go. Oh, okay. Well, if you want to come up, I'm happy to let you. Thank you. So the end bands of the actual professional book restorers that I love watching, I could soak some of this and see if it will peel off if I soak it for a while. These books just aren't that old to make it that much work worth my while. I was able to easily get the head and foot bands off of Rapunzel. And she was 101 years old, so that was really nice to be able to put hers back in. But these are the 1950s, and although some young people might argue with me on the point, I don't think they're that old. They're just really, really super cool. Oh, look at that. I'm so in love. All right, fabric. Oh, I don't want to... These tiny little... I gotta start a basket. There you go. There you go. That's your new home for the next week or two. All right, so fabric. So this is just a fine weave gauze cheesecloth. It's not, I've never found this fine at my dollar stores. I do love the loosey-goosey spider webby kind. That's the kind I find at my dollar stores. I don't know about where you live. Could be very different. But mine don't have them. But I do, there's a time and a place for that. And, hold on, let's just take, I want 2 1-inch strips. So let's get this off first. This one I just ordered on Amazon. Just look for a fine weave. This one's unbleached. I have ironed it and I have lightly spray starched it. It just makes it easier for me to work with. This doesn't need to be precise. It can be a little crooked. It's never going to be seen. It's going to be inside the book, and then it will be covered up with end papers and text block and what have you. Now, I want it to be not quite as wide. So I'm going to take it to here. I just want to give a little bit of support to the hinges. So now I'm going to cut this into 2. So yeah, family day. Hubby and I are just relaxing. He's watching movies. And as ever, I'm up here in my fun room. We had a nice dinner on Saturday. We had my daughter and her family over. It was our Christmas dinner. What? Yes. We had family that were sick over Christmas, and I'm a big believer in let's get everyone feeling better, and then we'll get together and have a nice time together when everyone can really enjoy it. Fortunately, she's level-headed like that too. So she had 2 family members that had colds. Omicron had reared its head again by this past Christmas, and we just sort of said, I said to her, we had prime rib, and I said, I can put the prime rib in the freezer, and we can wait a little while, and have it when everyone's feeling better and when it's a little bit safer. And she agreed that made good sense. And so we did. And it just happened. I messaged her and I said, hey, what about this date? Because both of our husbands work weekends. And I said, how is this date for you? I said, I got this date or this date I gave her to. And she said, oh, this date works, and it's Archer's birthday. And I said, there, done. So we can celebrate baby Jesus' birthday and baby Archer's birthday. so it worked out well. So now, see, here's my plan. I need to be quiet and get back to work here. This little bit of gauze is just going to go into these hinges. Now, I'm going to do it very carefully because I'm going to use PVA. I like PVA for this job. PVA is quite plasticky, and when it dries, it's still quite bendy, which is nice. Like, it doesn't dry. If I were to bend it, it wouldn't crack the way some glues would dry and crack. PVA is nice and pliable even after it's dry. So I really love using PVA on hinges. So this is just a neutral pH PVA. Again, Amazon. I got it on Amazon. So Lineco, Lineco. Just search on Amazon for PVA. I've seen all kinds of artists use all different kinds of PVA. So I am ready to do this. Then I'm going to quickly lay down some parchment paper, and I'm going to reform it. I'm going to see how the spine likes that, because I also like to keep my options open, and if necessary, I will use a cut-up Ziploc bag, and I will wrap it around the text block and just rewrap this around the text block to make the spine remember the shape I want it to keep, because PVA is water-based. These hinges are going to want to try and relax like we all do in the tub, and I like those folds. I like these folds and dents. See that nice groove there? I want it to keep its groove. So I'm prepared to do either or, and I find either or works nicely. With this one, no, not this one. Is it this one? With this one, it wanted to just lay flat, and I pushed it together so that the spine sort of did a little hump up, and I put my bricks on it and just let it dry like that. And it was happy to let me do that. I'm having to keep track. These all look exactly the same, and I'm having to keep track of what text block goes back in, where the cute little sticker is, because they all had a cute little sticker in it. Thank goodness for baskets. Anyhow, yeah, so this one, even though I've finished, I'm happy with how strong the spine is now. I put, for now, the text block back in. It just protects that nice spine that I have worked on. All right, so PVA. I'm going to just run, so see, it wants to be a little stinker. This bottle I find tends to want to plug back up after I haven't used it for a while. So I'm just going to run some right down that, a little on that side, a little on this side. Brush, this is the horrible brush where the paint chip jammed up under that nail last week. The week of fingernail carnage. Ugh. So I'm just, if I've taken too much, I just scrape it off into there, spread that out. I don't want too much. It doesn't need to be sopping wet. And as you can see, I put too much on. All right, and then just plop it down. Doesn't need to be precise. And then what I do is I use my brush again and I go down one side with brush, because if I use my fingers, it will try and stick to my fingers. I go down the other side, make sure that's well in there, but I'm not pushing too hard. I don't want to poke out that beautiful crease, that crevice. I just want the gauze stuck to both sides of the cover board and of the spine liner. And then I'm going to make sure it remembers. See, there's the little, that's what I want it to do. I want it to be able to dry like that. Otherwise, it's going to want to dry perfectly flat. And you know what? It would still be usable, but it wouldn't look as cool. So again, I'm going to try and use a little bit less this time. And if we need to, we'll scrape some off. So right into those crevices lightly. Not going to push on it because I don't want it going flat. And then out there. Oh, I don't want that sticking up. There's still a little bit of the old mull there. Doesn't hurt anything to just leave it there. Okay, that's not bad. All right, you go down. Oh, itchy nose. You know what that means. So I'm just lightly tucking it in on the one side beside the spine liner, and then on the other side beside that edge of the cover board, which is much thicker than this spine liner. These spine liners were in fine shape and well adhered, so there was no need for me to try and pull it out. It probably would have ended up damaging it if I tried to pull it out. Just no need to, there was no need for me to do that. There we go. Now I see some threads here. I'm just going to take a second and see if I can remove those. It really doesn't matter. Like, this part will never get seen. It doesn't want to come. I might not pester with it. Yeah, okay. You want to cooperate? That's fine with me. And over here. This one here especially. I hope you're doing well. To my friends down in the United States, my friends and family, happy President's Day yesterday, but it's really today. All right, so I'm going to see if laying this flat if it'll cooperate or if I need to wrap it around text block. See, that side wants to. There we go. That side wants to. So see how, I hope it's showing up on camera. See how if I wanted to, I could stretch this out, lay it flat. I don't want that. I want these nice crisp gutters to remember what I want them to do. So I'm pushing them towards each other so that the spine pops up. And then what I'm going to do is get my good old bricks and put one on each. Where'd my other brick go? Oh. Brick. Found my brick. All right, so while I've got it here, let me tell you what I'm thinking of doing. I'm thinking I kept thinking of that saying, and I'm paraphrasing here. Well-behaved women seldom make history. Is that the term? Anyhow, it just kept coming to mind because the pictures that I kept coming up with for the spine are just cool-looking ladies. Paintings, you know me, I like using a good old master's painting every once in a while. Well, I don't like this. I want to cover it up. I love this. I don't like this. This just, I don't like the font. So what I want to do is, I found some smaller sized pictures of old master paintings. So I want to trim it down so that it fits on the spine. I'm going to curve them. I think I'm going to put brads in the corners and make them look a little, like I said, I want some metal on this. So that will add to the metal look. This is Jane Seymour, one of Henry VIII's poor wives. So I like her. I think I'm going to use Jane. This is a painting of, what's her name? Giovanna Tornabuoni. It's a rather famous painting. I love this painting. This is called The Cheat with the Ace of Diamonds. And it's a painting of course, a card game. I like it because she's getting a cocktail served to her. I love the look on her face because she's figured out that person is cheating. And I want her. I think she's cool. Now, I had a few others that I wasn't sure about yet. I'm thinking I want to put a Frida. I think I want to put Frida on one of the spines. Another one somewhere. I made myself a template of how big it's going to need to be because I want to cover this up as well. The front will still make it evident what this book was because you know me, if you've been watching for a while. I do like to show a little respect, a little tip of the hat to the previous life that the books have had. And the cover will certainly do that. But this will fit and it will cover up this and this with a cool lady on the spine, a funky lady. I thought about this lady, but I don't think she's long enough. She's not long enough. I liked her. Mrs. Richard Yates. I'm going to have to pull out my Frida books and see. I know I've got lots of pictures of Frida that I can use. Oh, has it been 30 minutes? Wow, listen. Okay. All right, 30 minutes. Well, you know what? We got done what I wanted to get done. And I let you know what's going through my mind. I'm not sure how often I'll be on this week. Just to give you a little heads up, I'm really hoping Maybe to get my taxes done this week. That's what I'm hoping. I really want to get it behind me. I really hate doing taxes. So I'm hoping maybe to get that done. So if you don't hear from me for a little bit, wish me luck. I could be buried in numbers and papers and yuck. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And we'll get together soon. I'm going to need a break from the paperwork. I just know it. So we'll get together soon. And take care. We'll talk soon. Bye.